Cheers. I believe we are live. I can check. This is Jessica Hentoff, Jessica the Circus Lady from Circus Harmony. And today is Tuesday, so it is time for our Circus Harmony Up in the Air live stream on the City Museum Facebook page, which for some reason is not coming up on my phone. So I hope that we are live. Today we have a special guest joining us later, Oliver Layher, who is an alumni from Circus Harmony. And my hope is that I don't experience my usual techno glitches and that I can show you part of a recent podcast from Parallel Exit, which is a physical theater group. And they've been doing some really fun podcasts. We are in episode 7. And I am going to attempt to share my screen and show that to you. Then I'll come back. We'll have Oliver there. And we will also have, of course, Miss Maple's Trick of the Day. If you're not already aware, City Museum is not only open, but yesterday, or is it today, they opened their online store. So if there were parts of City Museum that you want in your own house, go to City Museum's online store. Information is on their website, citymuseum.org. Also on their website is how you can buy your ticket and go to City Museum. Circus Harmony is not yet teaching or performing at City Museum. We are doing things online and outside. And for information about what Circus Harmony is doing, visit circusharmony.org. Or, if we're very lucky here, you can watch this podcast from Parallel Exit. Needless to say, right away we're not lucky. So let me see if I can share my screen. And show you this. Well, I'd like to start at the beginning, if that is at all possible, techno people. Here we go. Or not. Or yes.
Hello. Welcome to
Move It.
I'm Mark Lonergan. I'm the Artistic Director of Parallel Exit. And here is my trusty sidekick,
Everett.
Today we are talking about the company.
Circus Harmony.
Correct. As Everett practices his juggling, I'll tell you a little bit about Circus Harmony. A social circus based in St. Louis, Circus Harmony uses the circus arts to motivate social change. One of the programs that they provide allows young people in the St. Louis area to learn not only circus skills, but life skills. Let's take a look right away at one of the most amazing programs Circus Harmony does.
Hola, mi nombre es Tayshari y yo pertenezco al programa de circo de la Escuela Nacional de Circo de Puerto Rico.
My name is Dennis and I am part of Circus Harmony in St. Louis, Missouri. Here at Circus Harmony joined the Social Circus program of the National Circus School of Puerto Rico to create a circus tour and bring joy to those affected by Hurricane Maria.
Este año tenemos la misión de llevar la gira Revolution for Harmony Circus Tour a las comunidades de San Luis. Esta gran oportunidad nos permitirá crecer como artistas, representar a nuestro país y desarrollarnos como personas dentro de nuestra sociedad.
For support, this summer we will be able to bring the joy and hope of circus, along with the culture of Puerto Rico, to St. Louis.
We are joined right now with the Artistic and Executive Director and the founder of Circus Harmony, Jessica Hentoff. Hi, Jessica.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Well, I feel like I have to do a double wait for you guys.
Thank you from both of us. Right, bud?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Jessica, you have the great honor of being a founding member of both Big Apple Circus and Circus Flora, and I believe you're the only one who can claim that. Is that right?
That is my circus history claim to fame. Yeah. I went to college and I was looking for different classes. And actually, I was supposed to be doing a job in New York City, but it got canceled. And I was going to the State University of New York at Purchase. And I decided to take circus classes on my new days off. And at first, I thought it would be fun. And then I just fell in love with the circus and I started reading everything I could about the circus. And then for my summer job, I applied to 50 different circuses. At that time, there were 50 different circuses to write to. And the one that I ended up on was a small youth circus called the Circus Kingdom, run by a Methodist Reverend. And he collected young people from throughout the United States. We toured the eastern half of the United States doing shows, and every place we went, we did a show for the public and a show for people who could not come to us. So we did shows at prisons and homes for the mentally ill, senior citizens homes, and it was an amazing experience. And I came back and I said to my circus teacher, Warren Bacon, this is what I want to do with my life. How can I repay you? And he said, I'll tell you what my teacher told me. Pass it on. So I've been doing circus ever since, and I was 18 then, and I'm 64 now. So it's been a while.
Terrific. The second question we have for you is, why did you start Circus Harmony?
I was working with Circus Flora, and they wanted to do some community programming. So they sent myself and a number of the other circus performers to teach at local schools. Over the years, everybody else stopped doing it. I kept working with these kids, created a circus troupe called the St. Louis Arches, which is still going on today. And then at one point, Circus Flora, like so many circuses, ran out of funding and decided to stop their educational programming to keep their show going, focus on that. And that's when I started Circus Harmony, because I couldn't turn around and tell these kids, sorry, no more circus. So to keep it going, because this is America, I formed my own nonprofit, and Circus Harmony was born.
All right. So Everett, you have a question for Jessica. Go ahead.
How old and how young do the circus performers get?
So at Circus Harmony, we start classes with children as young as 3 years old. So you can start learning circus at 3, and at the end of their class session, they put on a show. They go from a pile of puppies to the cutest circus performers you've ever seen. But our oldest student was 93, and she did a trapeze act. So from 3 to 93. But I'd be happy to take older people. We do not take younger people because we want them to already be potty trained.
This is important. Potty trained is very important. Everett, what do you think about that?
Oh my God.
That's amazing, right? All right. Jessica, how do you define the term social circus, and what does it mean in terms of what you do with Circus Harmony?
Right. I love how you asked, how do I define it? Because there are multiple definitions. To me, social circus is using the teaching and performing of circus arts to motivate social change. At Circus Harmony, we do it by building character in individuals and building bridges between communities. There are some people who believe social circus means to only work with marginalized individuals. We believe it's important to bring kids together from all different backgrounds, different socioeconomic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, race, whatever. We believe that you bring everybody together, give them the common language of circus, a common goal of putting on a show, and that's how we do social circus at Circus Harmony.
I'm aware that you at Circus Harmony do so many shows in a year. In fact, I think you do almost up to 700 in a year, if I'm correct.
When there's not a pandemic going on, yes.
In normal times, yes. what is the impact on the students, the performers who work with you to do that many shows, or at least have the opportunity to do that?
So Circus Harmony is incredibly fortunate that we are based inside of a working museum. It's called City Museum. It's in downtown St. Louis. There is nothing like it anywhere on the planet. People should look it up. But because we're in a museum, we do have this opportunity to do shows every day for an actual audience. And I don't know of any other performing arts school, circus or otherwise, that has that particular situation. It's a tremendous way for our students to build their skills. Because circus, like all performing arts, is not just about your technique, which should be good. It's about how you interact with an audience. So we think that this really gives our students an edge if they choose to go professional.
And hopefully we are back. If you enjoyed that clip from the Parallel Exit podcast, we are episode 7, and you can find links on their Facebook page, Circus Harmony's Facebook page, and if you just go on Vimeo. So our special guest, you saw him in a lot of those videos. Before I bring him on, he had become for many years our main base, and a base is the bottom guy of the pyramid. I want to give a quick shout out to our current main base, Ethan Ryan, because today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Ethan. And keep working out, because we need you to be strong when we come back, because we're going to be piling people on your shoulders, much like we did with Oliver. So I'm going to bring on Oliver Layher. I would bring him on if I saw him waiting in the guest room, but I've just noticed that he's not in the guest room. So that's kind of a problem. I am going to both continue talking and try and see why he's not waiting. So Oliver Layher has been our student since he was in early elementary school. And I'm wondering if I might have sent him the wrong link, which is entirely possible knowing me. I sent you the wrong link. So didn't I tell you that I have this incredible ability with my techno peasantry to mess things up? So this was the mess up for today. There you go. Okay, gods of technology. I hope you think that's really funny. I don't, but here we go. Because the other thing that I've decided is, were I ever to actually get this all right, it might be the end of the pandemic. So you should tune in every week. And the week that I have no techno problems, it means the pandemic is over. But I'm working on it. I am really working on it. So Oliver was our student for many years. We're going to bring him in just a minute, now that I've given him the correct link. You saw him in the videos. Somebody had asked where those videos were from. Some of them were from Circus Flora. Some were from Puerto Rico, and our Peace to Pyramids partnership with the National School of Puerto Rico. And some, of course, were from our ring at City Museum. And the reason we get to do this live stream is because City Museum is our home, and we're very grateful to them for giving us a home. And here, again, if technology works, is Oliver. Ta-da!
Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Sorry for giving you the wrong link there.
Oh no, it's all good. I was waiting. I was like, Yeah, it's all good.
Here we are. So do you remember how old you were when you took your first circus class?
I was, I believe, 9 years old.
And how old are you
And
now?
I started because the school too decided to have circus class as our gym class. So we went to the City Museum, and I was back when I think Big Donald was still there at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like Warren was coaching and stuff. And we did our little spinning plates for the first class or whatever. And like, I don't know, it was cool.
So
Yeah.
that was through the Waldorf School of St. Louis, and we've been
Yeah.
teaching for them ever since. And you were 9 then, and then you started taking regular classes with us. And how old are you now?
19.
So that's more than half your life you've been in the circus. And at the end of the podcast where I cut it off, I was talking about how being at Circus Harmony and our home being at City Museum and the fact that we do all those shows really gives our young people an edge if they decide to go professional. And you are one of our students who has decided to go professional and last year applied for and got into a college which is harder to get into than Harvard or Yale, the National Circus School of Montreal. Do you want to talk about what it's been like going from St. Louis to a school in another country, which is basically French speaking, and how it was from going from a little circus school to a circus university?
So circus wise, it was basically just more intense, and I felt really prepared for both the audition and going to school. And like, yeah, the hours are more and like the training is more intense, but they're like, here, we need you to do this. I was like, oh, I've done this before, or, you know, all this stuff. So it wasn't that big of an adjustment. And Montreal is a nice city. I like it. It's chill.
And you already spoke French? Or I know
No.
you speak German.
Yeah, I speak German.
You had to learn French to go to school or at school?
Yeah, we have to take a French class. We get to take a French class. Let me put it like that.
No, I think you have to the first year at least.
Yeah. And if you fail, you have to take it again. But
I will say that many of our other alumni who have gone to that school have had to take it again.
well, none of your alumni failed this year.
This year.
Yeah.
So that's true. This year we had you and your partner, Hiron Walton, both got in, and you got in as a hand-to-hand duo.
Yeah.
Many people in our viewing audience might not know what hand-to-hand is. Would you like to explain hand-to-hand?
So basically, it's a form of partner acrobatics where the flyer is thrown around and does a handstand on my hands, basically, and a bunch of different handstand variations, one arms, etc. And I throw him around and catch him.
So,
and yeah, that's about it.
we call Oliver's position, he's the base, he's the bottom of the pyramid. Another name for that is porter or understander. And I will say that I've always found Oliver to be a very understanding member of our circus community. But the work you've been doing in Montreal is incredible. When you go, yeah, one arms, things like that. A one arm means that your partner is doing a one arm handstand in various positions and you are holding him by one arm.
Yes.
And people can see a lot of photos and videos of you on the Circus Harmony Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. We're also, sadly, your first year was truncated a little because you came home because of the pandemic, but fortunately for us, you've been willing to coach, and you've been coaching some of our students for our upcoming show, The Balancing Act, which we will be having online in September. So what's it like going from a student to being a coach?
It's a whole nother way of learning, to be honest, because I always think you can learn as much from teaching as being a student. So with that, I'm learning how to be a better teacher. And I've taught before at Circus Harmony, but
It is
I don't know.
something that we require of our advanced students. So you
But I don't know, it's nice. And I know I've known all of them for years. So it's interesting to go from last year where I was in the arches with 2 of them, and now I'm their coach. And it's pretty nice. And I like, you know, coaching and choreographing. And I'm excited to see what the Diablo Act is going to be like.
So the act that you are coaching is Diablo. It's a form of object manipulation. It looks kind of like an hourglass, and it's manipulated. There's 2 sticks with a string between them, and you'll have to tune into the Balancing Act or visit us online to see Diablo. So when you go to circus college, a lot of people might not know you have a major and a minor. what your major is hand to hand and your minor?
Yeah, so my minor is dance trapeze, also known as single point trapeze, and it's a trapeze that's connected on top to a single point so it can spin. And so it's a little more flowy, I guess, than regular trapeze with two separate ropes.
In addition to being strong, most of the moves I've seen done on dance trapeze require a great deal of flexibility as well.
Yes, and fortunately I have some flexibility that I can use. So I'm excited to see what I'm gonna be able to create with that as well.
I am too. I was surprised that you chose dance trapeze because while at Circus Harmony we teach everybody to do everything, you hadn't done that much aerial work. So why did you choose dance trapeze?
Because it was something different that I hadn't done before, and I wanted to be able to show off the flexibility I had in another discipline as well. And I was originally going to choose Chinese pole, but I didn't like it enough to take all the
bruises,
the skin burns. So, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you on dance trapeze. So since you came back, there's been the pandemic, there's been tremendous social unrest in St. Louis. What's your view on that as somebody who had gone away and come back? Because you basically grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And what do you see happening in your city?
It's really, everything's kind of heading towards a breaking point. And I don't know, I haven't been protesting since I've been out of town, but I've been to various protests. And the amount of that have come out makes me extremely happy because I like to see that there's people that care.
Out of town, you've been here a while, and then you
I was on vacation.
Texas to visit your grandma, and now you're back.
Yeah.
Because you were going to protests before, and go ahead.
Yeah, and just and that it was both white and black people in the protests. I like that as well, and I feel like it's really coming to the point where a lot of people are waking up and kind of seeing the injustices that are going on in St. Louis and the rest of the country and the world. And it's a change that I like seeing.
Because growing up as part of Circus Harmony, part of our mission, as it talked about in that podcast, is to bring people together from different backgrounds, to show them they have common, then they do different, and to create something amazing together. And as Circus Harmony, you've been part of a number of those Peace Through Pyramids partnerships. Your partner happens to be a Black young man who grew up in City Museum in St. Louis. It seems like you guys grew up in City Museum because you had to train.
Pretty much.
So yeah, what about now? You're not training the way you were so intensively with us, and then at school, what are you doing to stay in shape?
I have some weights at home that I've been training with. I've been doing handstands a lot, which can kind of both simulate basing and works on other balancing and strength.
I saw, we were taking pictures about how people were training. This was at the beginning of the pandemic. You had your mom sitting on your shoulders and you were doing.
Yeah, and I was doing squats with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like your sister, you could throw your sister around. She's in Circus Harmony now.
She hasn't been wanting to, but I'm gonna force her to do it.
All right, and then you are planning to go back to Canada and back to school, right?
Yeah. I go back August 12th and school opens, I believe, August 28th.
And I'll say, because being a circus director and a circus school director, there are all these Zoom meetings for this particular industry sector, and ENC, École Nationale de Cirque, the National Circus School of Montreal, is on the cutting edge of training circus arts during a pandemic. And the theater across the street from them, the Tohu, also is on the cutting edge for how to present circus acts during a pandemic. So I feel comfortable in that you will be safe. I think it's good that you and Karen will be living together. They're going to be very strict about people training who are together. Mm-hmm. So the only group doing partner acrobatics with Circus Harmony now are the three brothers who live together. But I just heard today, I was on a circus call where there is a circus company it's an international company. They're going to form pods of people so that they can continue to create shows within the pod. And that might be what happens going forward. Is there anything else that you wanted to add? What do you think was the best part of being part of Circus Harmony growing up? Why did you stay with it for over 10 years? Because it takes a lot of time. And you also went to a fairly demanding high school. It's St. Louis. Tell people what high school you went to.
Yeah, I went to St. John Vianney High School. And I got a pretty good education out of it. So it was cool. But the thing I liked the most about Circus Harmony was really the social aspect of it. And it is a social circus. And all of basically, it was my family that I was training with every day. And then I got to do all these shows in different places.
What were some of the best places you went?
Puerto Rico, I really liked that. I didn't get to go to Israel, but when they came, I really liked meeting them and meeting people from Israel and a different culture. The Smithsonian Folklife Festival was fun. And meeting all those different circus people there and different circuses from around the United States.
So, anything else you want to share? About your life? What are your future hopes as we're still, to me, you don't even see the light at the end of the tunnel of the pandemic, at least in this country. Other countries are handling it better, certainly. # wear a mask and # Black Lives Matter. But
yes.
What do you see for your future? Where do you hope to be circus-wise?
I'm really just trying to get as good as I can, both like in the duo and as a artist with dance trapeze. And I really want to travel the world and perform. That's pretty much the primary goal.
Well, I certainly hope that you get to do that sooner rather than later. What year did you graduate?
I graduate in 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta think about that.
Well, yeah, I had to think about it.
Hopefully the world will be a better place by then, and I mean that health-wise and harmony-wise. And I think it's because of young people.
I hope so as well.
You and the other people in our program and our partners around the world to make it so. That's right. This coming year, there will be more Circus Harmony people at your school because Yason, our German student,
there will be 4 now.
Yeah, joining you.
Which in itself is really cool, and that says a lot about the circus that we come from and what we learn. And
I'm sorry I didn't say this at the beginning. The other person who went at the same time as you and Kyron was another alumni, Isabella Majan, who was actually the first girl from Circus Harmony to get in. Mm-hmm. So, yep, I was just talking to her. She's excited to get back to work. I think everybody
She went to the Waldorf School of St. Louis as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for coaching. Thank you for being you. And I'm looking forward to the future. I would like to get through this particular chapter as soon as possible.
As would we all.
Yeah. So I hope everybody does their part. Meanwhile, you can take classes online. And I want people to pay special attention when they watch the balancing act in September to the Diablo act that Oliver is coaching with some of our students. So thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
See you online.
Yep.
So now you can't really tell, but it's getting awfully dark here in Florissant, which is where we are broadcasting from. We call this broadcasting, and it's time for Miss Maple's trick of the day. So we'll see if we can wake Maple up, and this is the awkward moment where we move the camera to the floor. Maple, you did wake up, but I kind of wanted you to go back. Go home. Go home, please. Thank you. Let's make sure everybody can see you. I think that's fairly good. Sorry for the awkwardness of this, folks, but if you haven't been on enough awkward Zooms, it's still the wave of the present. So generally what I like to do is start with, have you seen Maple? Have you seen Maple? Right there she is. Hi, Maple. Can you move your carpet? Can you roll your carpet out? Good. Little more. Little more. Little more. Little more. Oh, a little bit more because we're going to do a long trick today. There you go. Okay. Just, she's still warming up. Down, please. A trick that we haven't done on the show before is her crawling. Can you show them your crawl? I know you haven't done crawl for a long time. You should have warmed it up before the show, right? Ready? Crawl? Oh, nope. Back, 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 back. So along with our technological foibles, we also always have dog training foibles. Crawl, 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 crawl. Good girl. And can you come back? And we're going to do our commercial now. As many of you, I hope, know, Circus Harmony, wait, let me show the product. Circus Harmony has its own Defy Gravity coffee. You can order it online on our website. And Maple's absolute favorite trick is to bring me my coffee. Oh, thank you so much. So she won't bring you your coffee, but if you order Circus Harmony's Defy Gravity coffee online, circusharmony.org, it will give you a lift and help a child soar all in one cup. And speaking of soaring, Miss Maple always ends with her leap through a hoop of fake fire and give it up for Miss Maple. Okay, Maple, go home. We're still sheltering in place. Good girl. Now, Circus Harmony is indeed doing Zoom shows that can come to you anywhere. We just did our first 2 6-feet circus shows, which we do outside, socially distanced, and you can book them by messaging us on any of our social media platforms or emailing us at circusday@everydaycircus.net. Everydaycircus.net is our booking company. In the 6-feet circus, we bring the whole circus right to your door. We did a camp this last week and we did a birthday party, and everybody's at least 6 feet or more away. It's a great show and we'd love to come and entertain you. We are also offering classes online. Our Zoom classes are available for individuals can sign up and take 1 or more classes. We have circus camps for young people, and we are going to start offering our new Circus Harmony Zoom packages for schools and pods. My understanding is a lot of parents are forming pods of kids so that they can have activities to do together after school. And we will also be offering our programs in school, and they include Defy Gravity 101, teaching basic circus arts. We're forming hoop troops where people will teach you a whole hoop choreography that you can put on your own little hula hoop show. We can even send you hula hoops. We also have our new circus science program that teaches basic science concepts through circus arts. So you learn science and circus. It's fun, it's educational. You should have your schools sign us up to bring it to them. And of course, we can bring our shows. So we recognize that some people don't know if they're going to school or not going to school. Schools don't know what they're doing. My guess is that they won't have us come and teach at the schools, but we can still come via Zoom to your school, to your home. We'll bring the big top under your rooftop. Go to circusharmony.org to learn more. That's the end of this Up in the Air live stream. Thank you to City Museum. Check out their new online store. It's new, it's amazing. And thanks, of course, to Miss Maple. Thanks to Oliver for being our special guest. And thanks to you for letting us make your day a circus day. I'm Jessica, the Circus Lady, and I'll see you next Tuesday right here where we are still up in the air.